Today's episode of the Bleav in Steelers show is brought to you by betonline.ag. Steelers training camp is here this week, which means the preseason is right around the corner. And if you want to get in on the preseason NFL action, just a few weeks away, betonline.ag is the place to do it.
Again, as always, 365, 7 days a week, 24/7. Any kind of sports betting you want to talk about, make sure y'all go to betonline.ag.
Head to BetOnline today using your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Just use our promo code Bleav50. That's BLEAV 50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, cue the music. It's time to start the show. Welcome to the Bleav in Steelers show on the Bleav Network. I'm your host, Mark Bergin, joined as always by my guy, two-time Super Bowl champion and 12-year veteran of the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 24, the king, the prime minister, and the president of Swag and You. I'm rocking my shirt this morning. Ike Taylor, how are you doing this morning, my man?
Man, Mark, I'm just coming from a long weekend, so actually I'm doing real good. I'm doing better than expected, but it's good to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers going back to Latrobe. Missed them days, but I think they report tomorrow and things get popping out tomorrow. So let's just get to the show, Mark. I know you got a lot of good things going on your way.
Yes, sir. We've got a loaded show for the listeners and the viewers of today's episode of the Bleav in Steelers show. The Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson fight is on hold for now. That'll get postponed. We'll talk about Najee Harris saying he'll get 500 carries if it helps the team win. We'll discuss that. We've got Madden ratings on today's show. But Ike, you're right. The return to Latrobe, Saint Vincent College. It's a new era of Steelers football, new quarterback, new general manager. We're going to pour one out this morning too, Ike. I got my Heinz ketchup here in my studio, so we're going to pour one out here this morning on today's episode. I'm pouring one out right now, and I'll have this with my potatoes this morning. But new era of Steelers football, Ike. And first time Steelers have been in Latrobe since 2019. What's old is new again.
It's been a long time coming, Mark. Just when you say Latrobe, PA, you think about all the good memories, all the two-a-days, all the oh man, this is my opportunity, or I think I got this chance to start days. You think about this was the foundation of my career days. You think about, man, we had some legendary goal line stances. That's what comes to my mind. It's just, when you think about Latrobe, man, you think about, just winning the Super Bowl. You're thinking about how packed the crowd was. You see the families, not only do they come around from there, but they come around from far. A lot of families, this is their vacation, Latrobe, PA. So you can just only imagine, because I live in Orlando, Florida, so I see people come to see Mickey and Minnie all the time. But just to see, the diehard Steelers fans, and they'd be like, Ike, man, this has been our family vacation for the past 20-some years. And you're like, man, this is crazy. So just to interact with the fans, just to shake hands with them, just to take pictures with them, just to be up close in person with them, just to look at, the front office or the coaching staff, or you can just really get to know each other, because once the football season actually starts and you go back to Pittsburgh, PA, it's on, it's business time. But Latrobe just bring back a lot of good memories. Latrobe bring back one of my fondest memories of me and we doing the toss sweep on the goal line, and it's me and Jerome Bettis. It's me and Jerome Bettis one-on-one. Coach LeBeau script the play where he just wanted to see if Ike Taylor was afraid to hit big running backs. And I answered the call, and I answered his question. I came up, I gave Jerome everything I had. Jerome didn't score. Now, I did need help from all the rest of the 10 other guys for Bussy not to score, but, between my teammates and even Bussy, at the time it was Deuce Staley and Bussy sitting in that backfield. All them boys gave me props, and from that point on, I was still a starting cornerback. So it's just a lot of good memories, man, whether they're on or off the field. sitting down with the priests, talking to them. It's sitting down with the cafeteria workers. It's just a whole lot, you know. Having wrestling matches in the dorm rooms between each other, linebackers versus cornerbacks, or cornerbacks versus running backs, like just putting 4 or 5 beds stacked on top of each other in PZ room. Man, we just had a ball. You know, that's or we're sitting down playing cards till 7 o'clock in the morning. I remember the game FIFA came out, when the soccer game FIFA came out, and Troy put us on the game FIFA. Man, we're having FIFA tournaments. We stand up 7 o'clock in the morning, and we talking about FIFA and football plays before we stretch and get on the field to go hit each other. And it's just like, you know, coaches at the time, they was like, you know what, this camaraderie, this brotherhood is like no other. You know, these boys can be going out and doing other things, but the fact, you know, you might come in a Troy Polamalu room or a James Fair room or Ike Taylor room and see 17 guys in one room, either sitting down, talking, playing FIFA, playing cards. And it's just like, you know, how do you script this? You know, how do you form this brotherhood with so many guys from different parts of the world, but, you know, they all feel like they all have the same mom. And the mom is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's the special. When you talk about Latrobe, that's just the memories I get on thinking about Latrobe, PA. You know, then when you start to win Super Bowl, you always try to reminisce or reflect back to go back to Latrobe and be like, this what made us who we were. You know, you think about them dog days, them tour days, and when I first came out, them tour days, Mark, them tour days was tour days. You know, we was banging. There really won't, the NFL rules didn't change to like year 7 or 8 for me. But when I first got to the league, we was banging, man. Them goal line stances, them Friday night lights, and you in the stadium and you performing in front, you know, the local area people, man, them bring back memories. You know, it's just Latrobe is special, man. Latrobe is special. So it's always going to have a place in my heart. But when you go to Latrobe, you think about how up close and person you are with the fans and the families. You know, that's like one of the most important things, because once the season hits, and if you're just thinking about a family going to Latrobe, once you get in Acrisure Stadium, man, you don't get up close in person with a player unless you know somebody and you get to see them on the sideline before everything happens. But other than that, man, when you talk about Latrobe, you're up close in person, Mark. So that's what I love about the memories, the legendary memories of the Pittsburgh Steelers in Latrobe and interacting with the fans.
And Ike, I know you mentioned your generation of players. This is something that dates back decades in previous generations. And it's cool to think that it's the same grounds of Steelers legends. And I'm talking along the lines of the Chief, Art Rooney, the original, Chuck Noll, Mean Joe Green, to where a lot of the memories and camaraderie and the bonding that took place existed for generations of Steelers players in the franchise beyond, you know, what they developed in the 70s when they won 4 Super Bowls.
Right. Correct. I mean, let's go way back before me. You know, I'm just a part of history, you know, but they brought 4 Lombardis to the city of Pittsburgh. I come in for my 12 years and I'm able to contribute and give too, you know. So just seeing the legends and back in the day where we're at, you know, they had cornfields. So I didn't get to see the cornfields at the time. You know, there are fields with cornfields now. When I got to Pittsburgh, they was crossing over. They didn't put in a turf field. They didn't put in 2 more other fields. You know, they didn't put in the stadium. They didn't put in new dormitories. Like, I got the good life, you know. So, but all that hard work from the 70s, 80s, 90s Steelers, you know, they were able to give us, you know, a better life, so to say. It's just like a dad trying to give his kid, you know, a better way out. And that's what the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s Steelers did to the 2000s Steelers. They gave us a better life, a better way. So shout out to the old greats as well, too.
So to give our listeners and viewers a roadmap, Tuesday, the players report. Wednesday, first practice open to the players Wednesday afternoon. So if you're attending, please let us know in the comment section on YouTube, because we would love to hear from what you see with your boots on the ground. And Ike, it's my understanding that you'll be in Latrobe at some point between now and mid-August.
Correct. Yes, I will. What Mark meant, ladies and gentlemen, he meant on Wednesday open to the public, not open to the players. So
yes, thank you.
That's what
thank you,
meant.
Ike.
Yeah, that's what Mark that's what Mark meant. So I know Mark coming fresh up off a workout. I know his stomach probably growling, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll get to that after the show. But that's where we at with it. And I will be in Latrobe at some point in time with the front office.
Very good. And Ike, before we move on, I'm reading Their Life's Work, book by Gary Pomerantz, 1970s Steelers. Do you have any memories of the establishment known as the 19th hole? I know it is legendary in Latrobe, PA.
No, I don't, Mark.
It's okay. Hey, shot in the dark. Shout out to the 19th hole, an establishment that's still there, that still exists today. But Ike, we will move on because we're going to talk a lot about training camp here in the coming weeks. And at some point in time, too, I'm going to try to get Brooke Pryor from ESPN back on, because she will be boots on the ground in Latrobe as well. Talk a lot about the quarterback battle as well, but we need to move on. Madden ratings have started to come out. New Madden video game is coming out, and I have a lot of gripes with the ratings. I was very excited to talk to you about this because I was fired up last week when this came out. I want to start from the Steelers standpoint, and I'll go bigger picture. I want to say this right now. The fact that TJ Watt is a 96 overall and is not a 99 overall is an absolute joke. I know that this is not a hot take or anything, but we're talking about a player who tied Michael Strahan's single-season sack record and led the NFL in tackles for a loss last season, despite the fact that he played in 15 games, meaning he missed 2. In 3 of the games in which Watt played fewer than 50% of the team's defensive snaps. There was another game where he only played 55% of the team's defensive snaps. If he's not a 99 overall, I don't know who is. I have no problems putting Myles Garrett as a 99 overall. But the fact that the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year is not a 99 overall, Madden, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, so you really can't look too much into the Madden rating. But, Mark, I don't know what Madden is looking at, but when they say 99 and you have an Aaron Donald, and I think Aaron Donald should always be a 99. Yep. And the reason why I think Aaron Donald should be a 99 is because when you look at highlights and you look at game time decisions and clutch plays, either Aaron Donald is making a play or they will have 3 guys who always have an eye on Aaron Donald and trying to stop Aaron Donald. So, yes, but when you look at a TJ Watt and you look at how clutch he is, every time Pittsburgh needed a play, he gave Pittsburgh a play. Every time Pittsburgh needed a turnover, he gave Pittsburgh a turnover. And he wound up missing a couple of games and still tying for the Michael Strahan sack record says a lot about TJ Watt. Here's why I don't think they gave TJ Watt a 99. It's because they feel like he can rush every play if he's on the field. They don't feel like he can drop. They don't feel like he'll put himself in coverage. So they looking at it like, you know what, if a guy's playing 60 snaps and he's rushing the quarterback, let's say 55 snaps, he should get to the quarterback at some point in time. They looking at it, if you put Aaron Donald, if you put a Myles Garrett, if you put any other guy who just have opportunities to rush the quarterback damn near every time, then you should get to the quarterback every time. If you let a Von Miller rush 60 times, and we saw what Von Miller was doing, then they look at it like that. But I just think the reason why they didn't give him a 99 because they always felt like, you know what, this is what he does. He does this very well. He gets to the quarterback if you let him. It's just out of 60 plays, 55 of them plays, if you just let him just be him, it's kind of tough to see other guys play other positions. And yes, I'm not taking anything away from TJ Watt. TJ Watt was the league's defensive MVP, and in my mind, he should have got a 99. But I'm looking at it from a Madden perspective and I'm asking myself why he didn't. So when I'm asking myself why he didn't, I'm answering myself as well. And this is just my personal opinion. This is just one of the reasons why I think they didn't give him a 99. So You know, when you have an outside linebacker who can just blitz damn near every time, you know, pushing 30 sacks should be into play. You know, when you have outside linebackers, especially from that 3-4, like we had outside linebackers, James Harrison wound up being defensive league MVP for 1 year, but hell, he damn near led our defensive interceptions. So that's how you gotta look at it. We had Lamar on the other end, opposite of James Harrison, and if he didn't get hurt for the amount of games in his career, you know, telling he probably would have been defensive league MVP as well. So when you look at that, when I think Madden is looking at that, when they look at the 3-4 outside linebackers, they're looking at, okay, well, yeah, he does have the sack record, but how many more times where did they let him try to get to the quarterback than other outside linebackers? So, but other than that, man, TJ Watt should have been a 99 mark. That's exactly how I look at it. When you have a league MVP, defensive league MVP, that's saying a lot. And the man wound up missing a couple of games, so he would have shattered, you know, Michael Strahan's sack record. So I'm looking at it like that. And regardless on the interceptions, when it comes down to forced fumbles, nobody does it better than TJ Watt in the NFL. So I'm just giving my perspective on why they didn't give him a 99.
Go back and watch our Taylor Talk segment from the Seattle Seahawks game, the strip sack forced fumble where TJ Watt's like triple teamed against the Seattle Seahawks late in that game. He forces the fumble against the Seahawks quarterback, Geno Smith. Just go back and watch that play to show what TJ Watt is capable of when he's legitimately being triple teamed, Ike. Watt is the lowest Madden rating for a Defensive Player of the Year winner in the last 8 seasons for Madden. So it's just like, okay, you know, Madden, you can have this one. But then we move on to Madden ranking Minkah Fitzpatrick outside the top 10 safeties. Now, I know Minkah didn't force the turnovers that he did in seasons past. He had 120 tackles because defenses were getting to the second and third level into the secondary because the Steelers' front seven point blank period wasn't very good last season. Steelers are going to shore that up again, and Minkah is going to be pretty opportunistic this year, and there's a reason why Pittsburgh just made him the highest paid safety in league history, and he's outside the top 10 safeties overall. This was just another head scratcher where it's like, are the Madden creators, the people doing the Madden ratings, I'm going to accuse them of being Browns and Ravens fans, Ike, because this one didn't make any sense to me either.
Yeah, it's tough to have Minkah outside the top 3, let alone the top 10.
Right?
So regardless of what kind of rating this is, man, we all understand and we all see. On the back end, when it comes down to clutch plays, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the first person you think about is Minkah Fitzpatrick. When it comes down to the discussion of just talking about top 10 safeties in the NFL, you bring up Minkah Fitzpatrick. When it comes down to now having the highest, you know, checkbook out the safety position, you talk about Minkah Fitzpatrick. So the fact that Minkah Fitzpatrick is not in the top 10, I don't know if they're going free safeties and strong safeties, or they just naming free safeties.
It was overall the top 10, because in free safeties, I do believe he's in the top 10 of just free safeties, but safeties overall, he is not in the top 10, which again, and I don't want to undermine any of the players on the list, because they're all very good players, but it's just like, how is Minkah not in that same conversation?
Other than Justin Simmons, the free safety sitting over there for the Denver Broncos, it's not too many people I would put over Minkah Fitzpatrick at that safety position. And this is just no disrespect to any other safety in the NFL. I'm just going off of what I've seen in Pro Bowls and clutch plays off of Minkah Fitzpatrick. So this is not just being biased because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Minkah Fitzpatrick just came to Pittsburgh and he just, took over from the secondary standpoint and just made plays week in and week out. That's just Minkah. Minkah led, Pittsburgh in 100-something tackles last year at the free safety position. So that's saying, like you said, Mark, not just to be rude, but the front seven wasn't really doing what they needed to do last year. Hopefully they'll tighten that up. Your secondary guy should never lead the league in tackles. It should be a middle linebacker or somebody on the D-line. When a secondary guy is leading your defense and tackles, that mean up seven, your top seven aren't doing the job they're supposed to do. But getting back to Minkah, man, Minkah definitely top three to me. And I'm saying three. I'm giving him three with a long leash. For me, Minkah is 1 and 2, and the only person I would put over him right now would be the young man Justin Simmons, sitting over there for the Denver Broncos. That's the only one. But
and you're talking about free safeties too, correct?
Yeah, I'm talking about safeties just in general. That's just what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm not even talking about strong safeties as well. I'm talking about both free and strong, Mark. But Minkah, man, to be out. But Minkah,
I look at this list too.
I'm gonna go ahead, Mark.
Well, I was going to say on this list, for example, Derwin James, the Chargers safety, is the second highest rated safety in the game. I love Derwin James, but he's missed time over the last 2 seasons. He played 15 games a year ago. The year before that, he was playing in 5 games. We talk about the best ability is availability. I'm not going to question Derwin James' talent, but just from durability alone, how Minkah is not there. Again, just a complete head scratcher. Sorry, go ahead and finish your thought about Minkah Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry about that.
So, yeah, Mark, we're not talking about talent, and that's what I think these people got to realize. Derwin James has a lot of talent. There's no question for him, but you just hit it on the head, Mark. Availability is the best ability, and that's what Minkah Fitzpatrick does, and why he's available, he's making plays. He has a resume. And his resume say, man, I'm the highest paid safety in NFL history. That's what his resume say. Well, how the heck you gonna pay Minkah Fitzpatrick all that money? Well, go and look at the past couple of years and you'll see why. That's exactly why. So Minkah does it, and he doesn't say much. He let his action, speak for himself, or vice versa. But yeah, that's just what I like about Minkah, man. I don't know why Minkah isn't in the top. If you had a draft and you drafting 10 safeties and you're a GM, and the draft is tomorrow, and we're talking about current players who are in the league right now from a safety standpoint, Minkah coming off that board out of the 5. So I asked people, and I asked the Madden rating crew, if y'all was to have a draft and we're just drafting 10 safeties, whether they're strong or free safeties, I guarantee you Minkah coming off that board. So why y'all just don't go and change the Madden rating and go and give that man a 90, a 97, a 98 in the Madden rating and get him out and get him in the top 10, let alone the top 3, worst case scenario, top 5.
All right, Ike, I got the recipe. TJ Watt can get a 30-piece. Minkah can get, I don't know how many pick sixes he needs to boost those ratings. And watch, they're magically going to dominate defensively, and they're going to go up the charts. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. I just think right now Pittsburgh is about to get back to their heyday. The physicality part is the NFL kind of put a governor on the car, so say, when it comes down to physicality of where you can and can't hit players. It's more safety results, which is needed. So I respect that part from the NFL. But from a coaching staff to talent on that defensive side, the defense shouldn't have a problem stopping the run or getting interceptions on the back end. That's just my personal opinion. I think Pittsburgh will be the top 5 defense in the NFL on both ends, whether it's stopping the run or pass defense.
We try to manifest things and predict them before they happen. It is July 25th right now. I think you're going to see the Minkah Fitzpatrick, the All-Pro from the 2019 and 2020 seasons, much more in 2022 compared to this past season, again, because of the struggles of the front 7 when the Steelers ranked dead last in the league in rushing yards allowed. I think Minkah is going to be able to play more opportunistic football on the back end and create those turnovers that he's so good at. That's his skill set. So we'll see, but that's what I'm predicting right now here at the end of July. We have a few more ratings to get to. Naji Harris, not in the top 10 either. He's an 85 overall. And I'm looking at a lot of players on this list. They're all talented running backs, but I kind of liken this to, I would say this. If you flipped Najee Harris with these other running backs and gave them the offensive lines that they have compared to what was a young Steelers line last season where you're starting 2 rookies and a second-year player, what kind of production would you get from Najee, who, by the way, despite the fact that it was a young developing offensive line, Najee still made the Pro Bowl. Now, remember, it was supposed to be Joe Mixon. Najee was the alternate because Joe Mixon played in the Super Bowl with the Bengals. But if Najee can build upon that, and I'm really excited to see what Najee can do with a line that's even better this upcoming season, to have him not in the top 10, again, questionable as well with these Madden ratings.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with him being 85. He's a rookie, and he proved himself last year. I think 85 is perfect for a rookie running back coming in. The guys they have in front of him are not bad at all. I've seen the list when it comes down to that. So I think Najee is exactly where he needs to be, at 85 when it comes down to the Madden, which is high. Because if you think about it, you got a lot of guys who've been in the league who actually start who don't have an 85 rating. So for Najee, especially at that running back position, especially his rookie year, the things he did for the Pittsburgh Steelers and himself and just building his resume, I think 85 is perfect.
Yeah, we'll see. I would expect him to shoot up those ratings too. Derrick Henry, the top running back there. Nick Chubb out of Cleveland. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, only 10 games in the last 2 seasons if he can stay healthy. Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook round out the top 5 at the running back position. My biggest beef with these ratings, as mad and frustrated as I was about the TJ Watt ratings, Jamar Chase not in the top 10 for receivers is an absolute joke, because if we were drafting receivers right now for the upcoming season alone, Jamar Chase is definitely going top 5. And to have him, like, again, I don't want to throw these other players under the bus, Ike, but to not have him in the top 10 for receivers, I'm sorry. If you're picking straight out, say I could pick a receiver for the upcoming season, Jamar Chase is in the top 10, if not top 5, if not top 3. This was the biggest head scratcher to me. And this is coming from, us doing a Steelers show. How Jamar Chase isn't a top 10 receiver makes absolutely no sense to me.
Okay, so if you just take Jamar Chase, and if you just ask guys out in the NFL who had a good season, just any position, any player on the offensive side, they're gonna say Jamar Chase. So if Jamar Chase is not in the top 10 and it comes down to wide receivers, but arguably if you just take quarterbacks out, which you can't, but you take quarterbacks out and you go for who's the next best player in the league, and they're gonna say Jamar Chase. Because Jamar Chase had an MVP type season. Jamar Chase got votes for MVP when it came down to the MVP of the NFL. Jamar Chase just took over as a rookie. Jamar Chase had multiple 100+, 150+ wide receiver games, a few 200 games. That was Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase arguably could have won the game by himself in the Super Bowl if they had a little bit of time left on that clock. Jamar Chase was the reason why a lot of people watch the Cincinnati Bengals, other than Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase took Joe Burrow to a whole nother level when it came down to passing. That's exactly what Jamar Chase did. So how do you have a Jamar Chase who got MVP votes out the top 10? That don't make any sense at all. We're not talking about just wide receivers. We're talking about who was electrifying, who did people want to see, what did top defenses think, say, and react, and who was the guy they had to know. They had to know where Jamar Chase was at all times. So how on Madden do you not know where Jamar Chase is on the field? So if I'm gonna throw a rule out, because we just got done talking about Naji Harris, and I thought Najee, from a rookie standpoint, 85 was perfect. If you wanted to give Jamar Chase a 96 or a 95, I don't think nobody would ever argue with that off of what he did last season for the NFL. But to have him out the top 10, I mean, who your Devontae Adams? Devontae Adams
is one. Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill. Those 3, I'd be cool ranking ahead of Jamar Chase. In my opinion, Jamar Chase is right there, say at number 4 and number 5. I know D-Hop, Diggs, like there are other very good receivers, Ike, but he's in that conversation right there.
Jamar Chase, though, like, that's why I say Devontae Adams, and it's Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect to Tyreek. Tyreek will, blow past anybody in the world when it comes down to football. Devontae Adams, we just seen what he's done over the last couple of years. Devontae, Cooper Kupp, the quiet assassin, has been building his resume since he stepped into the league, regardless on who the quarterback was. He just know where he need to be at all times. Jamar Chase, the same person. Not Jamar Chase. Between Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase, they're gonna do the you gotta want to things. And what I do see out of all the guys we just named is I do see a Cooper Kupp will lay his body on the line and he will block the heck out of you when it comes down to times he need to. What I do see Joe Mixon coming out and he's getting on side of that perimeter, I see a Jamar Chase trying to block the heck out of a corner or safety as well. So, and we call that the things people, you got to want to do that. You got to want to be unselfish. You got to want to make plays when you're not getting the ball. And I see those two guys right there between Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp. They make plays for their teammates when they're not receiving the ball. So it's crazy for me. I mean, who else, other than the guys you just named, Mark, who else was better?
So they've got Chase? Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans checks in at number 7, Terry McLaurin is at number 8, Keenan Allen at number 9, and then Amari Cooper at number 10. Again, this is not to throw any of those players under the bus because they've shown consistency. This showed consistency. But if you're picking just straight up, like saying you could have Jamar Chase or Amari Cooper, I know who I'm taking.
You taking Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
The other guys you named, we will have an argument. That list, that's a nice little list. So I can see the argument with that. But Amari Cooper, and there's no disrespect to Coop, but I'm taking Chase over Coop. That's what I'm doing. Terry McLaurin, is it McLaurin?
Yes, sir. Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin, quietly. It's a reason why the Washington Commanders had to pay that man, had to give him an extension because he is hell. So I respect that. I respect that everybody's seeing Terry McLaurin, the NFL, is seeing what he can do. But Jamar Chase, yeah, if I'm taking one out that list, because Mark, that's a heck of a list right there, bro. Mm-hmm. If I'm taking one out that list, it would probably be Amari Cooper.
Well, especially considering Madden is rewarding the consistent production with all of these players. Because I take a look at a guy like Mike Evans, who's had an 1,000-yard season every season he's been in the league, which is why he's a 92 overall. So maybe Madden just wants to say, hey, what's your encore performance in year 2 with Jamar Chase? But again, you're just picking straight up for the upcoming season and the upcoming season alone. It's like, what are we doing, Madden? What are we doing? Chris Boswell, an 82 overall, is the 4th highest rated kicker. Thought he could have been a little bit higher given his consistency. The Steelers quarterback ratings, Mitch Trubisky, a 69 overall, Kenny Pickett, a 68, and Mason Rudolph, 62. Thought those were a little bit low. Yeah, I thought those were a little bit low, but like, oh my Lord.
Man. I mean, man, right? I mean, honestly, for the quarterback position, I expect you to give me a 65. I don't expect you to give a quarterback a 69 or a 68. You know, Ike, if we swap and you put Ike at quarterback, man, I expect a 65 max. But I don't even play that position. So the fact that you're going to give the actually NFL quarterback a 69. So basically, you just telling me like there you have it right there. If Kenny Pickett has a 68 mark and Mitchell Trubisky has a 69, and we're going into training camp, we already know who's starting Kenny Pickett because that's too close. That's too close of a bargain, you know. So and that's exact. And since we're talking about it, I'm giving you the mindset of a coaching staff in the front office. If it's a rookie and if it's a veteran guy and they're head to head and the veteran guy has a couple of points in front of the rookie, we're starting the rookie. That's exactly where we're going. But golly, man, a 69 to Mitchell Trubisky, you couldn't give Mitch 73, 75?
And he has a winning record as a starting quarterback. I mean, I'm right there with you. And I will say this. I think you would be a 65 just considering you still got some speed, IT. I'm not saying you've got the juice quite like you had when you played, but you would have like upper 80s, low 90s speed still
right
even
now?
at your age. Yeah.
At quarterback, I would be a 65. That's the disrespect for the Pittsburgh Steelers is at an all-time high. Come on, Madden. It's at an all-time high.
All right.
So what did they give Mason Rudolph?
A 62. For our listeners, Ike just fell out of his chair. But yeah, I agree with you, Ike. It's ridiculous. See, this is my theory that the Madden ratings are done by Steelers and Browns fans. I'm telling you,
boy, the disrespect is high for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, boy, let's move on. My bad, bro.
Naji Harris goes on, I Bleav it's the Rich Eisen show last week, says that he'll go for 400 or 500 touches if he needs to. This kind of goes back to been banging the drum where it's like, I don't want him to have that many touches. The record, 492 touches in a single season. James Wilder, 1984 with Tampa Bay. Larry Johnson is second, 457 with the Chiefs in 2006. But I like his mentality, say he'll do anything to help the team win. But this goes back to what I've been saying. Who's the Robin to Najee's Batman?
Yeah, hopefully they'll find a Robin to Najee. I do not want him anywhere close to 270. That's 2 seasons. You talking about 400-500 carries, man. That's 2 NFL seasons in one. Yeah. So, no, I don't even want to put them kind of miles on them tires, let alone that engine. You know, so I want him to be able to play as long as he can. You know, you talking about two 400 carry seasons, man. That's 800 carries, man. That's 4 seasons in 2 years. Najee ain't gonna last long. Now, for the sake of the team, I get it, but now Najee got to start thinking for the sake of my body and my career. That's what he got to start thinking. Yep. He got to start thinking like a businessman. You know, he got to start thinking like the Kyler Murrays, like the Tyreek Hills. He got to start thinking about his body and his money. That's what he got to start thinking about. Because for the sake of the team, will give you no money and there's no feelings when it comes down to the business side of the NFL. Thank you. Have a nice life. That's exactly how the NFL thinks, because they always feel like they can replace you because it's just a young man's sport, football. But for Najee, I like the mindset. I like the thinking. You know, give me the ball, man. I'm gonna carry this team. But nah, Najee, I do not, from a player's perspective, to another player. Nope. Take care of your body. Get the yards you can get with less carries, and play as long as you can and get as many bags as you can. But the 400 to 500 piece, nope. That's what we're not going to do. Because right now I'm talking as his agent. That's what we're not going to do.
Mm-hmm. 381 carries last season, led the league, became the first rookie in league history with 300 plus carries and 70 plus receptions. So he's a workhorse. I've always complimented his blocking ability out of the backfield too, but the 2 position groups, and I'll say this too, and we'll move on till the end of the show, but the 2 position groups where the Steelers could really least afford to have a significant injury, running back with Najee, and then the 2 outside linebackers, and I'm talking TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, because there's just not the depth if any of those guys go down to where it could be very, very troublesome for the Steelers this upcoming season. They need each of those players to remain healthy throughout the duration of the season to where they're playing their best ball in November, December, January, and hopefully February when you're going and trying to pursue a Lombardi trophy.
Well, this is what a mobile quarterback does to your offense. It lessens your carries.
Preach, Ike, preach.
So the fact that they might have a Mr. Trubisky or a Kenny Pickett at the quarterback position, Najee don't have to see the ball 381 times. Najee might get 300, and that's 81 times less than what he did last year. And the reason why is because now you have a quarterback. Now you just can't stack the box. We all know Mitchell Trubisky is athletic. We do know Kenny Pickett is athletic as well. So what's that's going to do, man? That's going to open the playbook from an offensive coordinator standpoint. That's going to give running backs, some time to hit the holes, and you just can't have 9 or 10 in the box, so say, and just play man coverage all day. It's going to give everybody. It's going to open a little bit of everything for everybody on that side of the ball now because the quarterback is mobile, So, yeah, I expect Najee, really his carries to go down in half, to be honest with you. And the reason why, and for him to be even more successful, yards per carry. because the offense will open up due to the mobility of the quarterback.
All right, Ike, speaking of Steelers running backs, former Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell, his boxing match with Adrian Peterson has been postponed. I know you were going to go out to L.A.
Correct.
You're going to try to reschedule now to September. Just where are you at with all that? Because, again, I know you were going to go to the Crypto.com arena.
Some money, contract, verbal language. You get down to it. So, or one of the two between AP or Le'Veon probably needed a little bit more time, and I don't think it's Le'Veon at all. Or just where they're at from the boxing standpoint on the cards, So it's a lot of things that go into that situation. Fights getting pushed back. You never know what the arena might have. The arena might have something bigger for that day. Somebody might have paid the arena a little bit more money for that day, so you got to push it back. So it's just a whole lot of situations and variables when it comes down to boxing in arenas and signing contract deals. You know how it is, man. Them little small prints, that verbal language, a mother when it comes down to contract situations. But yeah, eventually they're gonna fight, and I'm throwing all my money down on Le'Veon.
I'll be right there with you, Ike. And it's a shame because the main event, the two YouTubers who are going head to head, I've never heard of either of the YouTubers that are the main fight for the night. I hope that they are able to get this organized because I was excited to see this, and I was hoping to see my guy Ike Taylor on the tube. I don't know, close up to the ring and everything too. I was excited for that.
Getting hit by sweat.
To see what Lev could do in the ring too.
No, Lev is a dog in that ring. I was gonna be so close, man. If somebody would have got hit by the sweat, you would have thought I was taking a shower. That's how close I was gonna be on that thing.
I have no idea how to transition here. We do need to turn to a few serious matters. Ike, former Steelers receiver Charles Johnson has died at the age of 50. He actually lives in my neck of the woods. He was a teacher in Wake Forest, receiver out of Colorado, a former first-round pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ike, I wasn't sure if you had any interactions with Charles Johnson, but I wanted to pay homage to a former Steelers player.
No, I didn't have any interaction with Charles, but he's part of the brotherhood. He's one of the brothers, and just falling victim, losing his life at an early age. Because I'm 42 years old, so that's 8 years away from me. But man, it's just sad to see them stories. It's just sad to see what's going on in the world today. So we can't take things for granted, Mark. That's why I tell people as soon as you get up out of bed, man, you just gotta thank the good man and just try to have a positive mindset. And surround yourself around positive people. Surround yourself around just a positive environment. So say, because you just never know what people are going through mentally, and physically. So opening that door for a person might brighten their day up. Saying you like, what, man, I like them shoes right there you got on, might brighten that person's day up. You know what I'm saying? Or saying good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. You just might brighten that person's day up. You just never know what kind of light you can shed on somebody, but how simple it just might be. So that's how I look at it, man. But rest in heaven, Charles Johnson, former, Pittsburgh Steelers first-round draft pick.
Yeah, amen. Ike, another serious note, too, John Metchie III, diagnosed with a form of leukemia as well. Wishing and hoping that he has a speedy recovery. I know that both the Texans and the Alabama Crimson Tide have wished him, just, again, a quick recovery and everything. He's in good spirits and everything, too. But we're hoping that he can get back on a football field ASAP. And I'm going to say this, Ike, when that happens, that's going to be an awesome moment for him. And if he's still with the Texans or whatever organization he's with at that standpoint, hoping that he can battle this out and then, again, get back on the football field because he's heck of a talent at the receiver position.
Yeah. It's going to be one of the main chapters in this book that the good man is writing for him, where we look back and be like, dang, man, he had to sit out for a year. He had to take care of some health reasons. But, man, look how this kid done bounced back. That's how I look at them stories. When I hear stories like this, especially guys who are young, The good man just the good man see the good man already sees what's on the other side of that door. And as much as it's probably hurting John Metchie III because he just got drafted and he fulfilled his dreams and how hard it was being at Alabama and putting himself in position to get to the NFL and getting drafted is hard. It's tough. You're only one of the few in the world. But the good man sees something on the other side of that door, man, that he said, not right now. I got bigger things for you in the near future. I'm gonna go ahead and sit you down right now. And the only way I'm gonna sit you down is by doing this to you. All you gotta do is just believe and trust in me, and we'll talk about this in 10 years, and you'll have bigger and better opportunities than ever. Just trust me on this one. That's how I think the good man be talking. Because my son is going through the same thing right now. He's going through he had to have surgery. My son got to have surgery August 5th. And I say, man, every time I say the good man always have something in store for you. So just fall back. You'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. Just go ahead and fall back. I know your expectations. I know your goals. I know where you want to be. I know your passion for the game. But the good man always have, something on the other side that he didn't like, and he wants you to wait because he has bigger things in store. So that's how I look at John Metchie. I mean, for me, it was the lockout. When I was coming, and the NFL was fighting with the NFL because we wanted certain laws and rules, and we wound up having a lockout for a couple of months. But that was also my contract year. So the good man had to put things on hold for me as well. So that's just how I look at it, man. So, it's always we're always anxious. We're always, especially for the guys who are passionate and they love the game of football. That's the first thing I tell John Metchie III. Like, bro, I'm telling you, man, it's hurt right now, but we'll talk about this in 10 years. The good man has something better in store for you at the moment. He just needed to sit you down and sometimes, Mark, I think the good man place you in a situation that people might think is bad, but he already know you're the only one that can handle the situation. So really, he's talking through you so other people can see. So I look at it like that as well. So that's where I'm at with it, man. John Metchie III, after he gets doing what he needs to do for this 2022 season, he'll have a heck of a story in 10 years from now off of what he's overcame.
The amount of good that he can do, I almost liken it to how Ryan Shazier's life purpose completely changed with his spinal injury, but the amount of people that he was able to impact and inspire and motivate on the other side of all of that, is his bigger life's purpose. So it's, again, hoping and wishing and praying that, all the best for John Metchie III. Ike, we've got some good news, and we're going to end the show with a couple quarterback, one a contract extension and a signing. Kyler Murray signing a massive contract extension. It just goes to show you what happens when you take your team and take them out of your social media profile. You get your way. He's going to get $230 million, $160 million guaranteed. And here's a hot take for you, Ike. I think he made the right decision playing football and not baseball. Kyler Murray, congrats to you and your new deal.
Jay, give him my money. That's all he said. I'm gonna play this business game. That's all Kyler Murray said. I'm taking y'all off. I broke up with my girl. That's all he said. I broke up with my girlfriend. Now, if she wanna come back to me, it's gonna cost her. And that's exactly what the Arizona Cardinals did. But why you wouldn't give the man his money? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a young, energetic, make plays. You can talk about his height all you want to. He's been small his whole life, but he's been a man his whole life. He's been throwing over 6-something offensive linemen his whole life. He's been making plays his whole life. He's been throwing touchdowns his whole life. So take the size out. One thing you do know about Kyler Murray, every time he steps on the field, it's electrifying. Plays will be made, and he's fun to watch. That's what you can say. And it's been going on since he was small. And if you just look at the Oklahoma days, he was doing the same thing. So the man just wound up what Kyler has to do now, and I'm happy he got his bag. I'm happy he got his money. He gotta start sliding. He's a baseball guy.
Yep.
And from this point on, to protect yourself, that organization, because your team really needs you on the field more than not, you got to start sliding. And that's the only thing I tell them. But other than that, that's the way to get your bag in 5 years. You're 230. I guess that's the going rate if you're good in the league at quarterback. The 230, the 240 piece. Mark, in 5 more years, that thing gonna be 500. So honestly, if you think about it, Mark, the Kansas City Chiefs really got a steal off of Patrick Mahomes.
They could see the writing on the wall.
They did like an 8-year extension. You already had 2 years left, so a total of 10. Because Josh Allen come right behind him, right? Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen come right behind him and do like what? A big deal for less years as well. And
Josh Allen, he's getting 43 on average per year through 2028, Ike.
Hey, Ravens. Me and Mark talked about
you're in my brain, Ike. You stole my line. Come on.
Hey, Ravens. We told y'all could have got Lamar for the dang 35 if y'all would have did it early. But now y'all got to give him 50. The Baltimore Ravens got to give Lamar Jackson 50. You got to. He has a better record. He's the most valuable. And the league's former MVP. You got to get a man a 50. If you don't give him a 50, somebody going to give him 50 a year. And what I mean by 50 is 50 a year. Because what? Kyler Murray's looking at 46.1 a year average on his contract. Oh, yeah, you got to give Lamar the 50 piece. That's the going rate now.
Yep. Ike, I mean, you're preaching here. But you're in my brain because it's like Lamar Jackson's got to be looking at this deal. And it's like, okay, where's mine? As he enters the final year of his rookie deal. Josh Rosen to the Browns, getting more quarterback depth, maybe not as much love for Jacoby Brissett. We'll see what happens to Deshaun Watson. But Ike, the thing I'm most curious about, when Josh Rosen was the UCLA quarterback many moons ago, he had that hot tub in his dorm room. Is he bringing the hot tub to Cleveland or not? That's what I got my eyes on. But the Browns getting rid of Baker Mayfield, and now they need a quarterback, and they had a divorce with Baker Mayfield. Give me the popcorn. I want to watch just all the drama unfold. And again, we'll see what happens with Deshaun Watson, not to underscore those allegations and the seriousness of those. But I saw this, and it was just like, wait a second. You already had a quarterback with Baker, and you ran him out of town. Good luck to you, Cleveland Browns.
I mean, Cleveland got a Netflix series going on, and they ain't even in the Netflix. Like it's a lot of episodes going on with Cleveland, man. That like if you want to put a NFL football team on Netflix, it would probably be Cleveland because of all the bad decisions they've been making over the last couple of years. I'm sorry, for a long time when it comes down to that front office position.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess so, Mark, man. But that's how I look at Cleveland. Like, all right, Netflix it is.
They were on Hard Knocks a few years ago, Ike. I would love to see them on Hard Knocks again, but
I know.
We'll see.
I know.
Ike, you're the absolute.
I want to see a good team.
We'll see. Ike, you're the absolute best. I hope you have a great upcoming week. Hopefully, Ivan has a speedy recovery as well.
Appreciate it.
I want to thank you, the folks over at the Bleav Network, our producers at Brinks TV, led by John Brinkus, Courtney Vargas, Herbert Diaz, Lucy Oden, and producer Yancey. Today's episode of the Bleav Steelers Show brought to you by betonline.ag. I'm not trying to wish my summer away, but I am so excited for the upcoming football season, and we are just weeks away. I'm going to go ahead, turn things over to you, Ike, before signing off here, but another awesome episode of the Bleav Steelers Show.
Yeah, huge shout out to Mark Bergin. Want to thank, Bleav Network for giving us the opportunity. BetOnline.ag, Brinks TV. We got to thank the Dream Team, Miss Courtney and her crew. So I call everybody the Dream Team who's working behind the scenes and getting everything set up for Mark and I to do what we can do. And that's just talk football, be insightful, and have some kind of personality. So thank the Dream Team who's behind the scenes, getting everything occupied and set up for Mark and I. So, and make sure y'all give us, for the viewers and everybody who'll be tuning into our shows, make sure y'all give us that 5-piece. That's a 5-star ratings. Want to appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening to Mark and I for the past couple of years. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend what we're doing over here for the Bleav Network, and that's good things.
100%, Ike. One final thought. We're almost up to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. We got to get to that 2-piece. I want to grow it to 10 by season's end. So help us out. Sir. Tap that subscribe button as well. For Ike Taylor, I'm Mark Bergin. Thank you for watching the Bleav in Steelers show. We will see you next week. Until then, take care and so long, everybody.
Peace.